So I've got Joe at Get Your Tips Out. And when you're doing your daily tips, do you look at previous course form to influence your tips on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, again, I think this is an important point because obviously you've got certain tracks like it's coming to mind straight away is Plumpton, which is like a tight turning track. Sometimes you get sort of like specialists around there. Then you've got Cheltenham, which is undulating, the famous Cheltenham Hill. You've got horses that obviously relish that sort of stamina test more than others. You've got flat tracks like Aintree, which obviously, again, certain horses go better at that track than others. I think it's a big thing that you have to consider, but I wouldn't let that sole factor influence me. There's lots of other things that you'd have to take into account.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a big one for me, a local track to myself is Chester. And
Mm.
for me, I'm always looking for someone. The draw can make a massive difference at Chester because it's kind of a tight bend, tight turning
Yeah,
track, and you want to try to make certain that you're actually getting jockeys as well that can ride that track really well, like
yeah,
at Chester. So I'm wanting to try to get someone who's going to be up there with the pace as a front running track. So course
yeah,
form is definitely, in my opinion, it's a pretty big factor at certain racetracks. Maybe not at others, but like you said, getting up the hill at Cheltenham, it's difficult to get up the hill at Cheltenham and stuff like that. Where it's
yeah.
it definitely plays a factor from when I'm looking at the form.
But again, then sort of like using Chester as the example, that's obviously one of the most important tracks. But then the weather then influences the draw, doesn't it? So if you get softer
Yeah, for
ground,
sure. Yeah,
so there's always going to be other things you have to look at. You can't just solely look at this and then think that horse goes well at that track. I'm going to back it. Yeah, there's a lot
yeah,
to
for sure.
consider.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. Like I said, sometimes if along the rail when it's heavy ground has been cut
Mm.
up, sometimes you want them to be too free off the rail because they've got
Yeah,
like a nice fresh ground to run on. So,
yeah,
but yeah, I think it's a key factor, like you said, that you shouldn't be looking at any singular kind of
mm.
horse racing stat. The
Yeah,
statistics, you should be looking at everything with regards to course form, trainer form, um, course and distance form as well is quite important.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a collection of everything.